Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Dr. January Suarez, and this series is Your Self-Healing Body, how to use emotion, energy, and intuition to raise your vitality and joy. I'm doing this summit to really allow people to raise their vibration, create healing in their own life and in the ones that they love. I'm so honored to have Brandy Faith Weld with us today. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know you get to ask this all the time because you have an amazing story, a history, a journey of how you came to understand these ways of energy and healing. Would you mind sharing a little bit with us?
Okay, yeah, well, I'll kind of start with this, before I went on this particular journey that the situation happened. So I was living in Lake Tahoe. I was bringing speakers to a spiritual center that I was a part of. And so this woman was a faith healer. Her name was Michelle O'Donnell. She had a book called Of Monkeys and Dragons. And basically, she was a former nurse, medical nurse. And through her journey, she had learned, because basically she had a child that was basically, oh my God, I can't remember the exact, but it was something like born at like 16 weeks old or something. I mean, something really, amazing. And they told her that that child would not survive. It would be brain dead. And so through this process, she had learned about faith and this faith healing. And that child is, now a lawyer, married, with kids, right? So basically how she and other faith healers heal it is they don't buy into the illusion of disease. They see the person as perfect and whole. So I sometimes share a video of some faith healers healing over a woman who has a kind of, she has a 3-inch tumor in her stomach. And these faith healers, and they have her attached to a sonogram because science was monitoring and testing these faith healers, right? To see if it's true. So so these faith healers are healing over her, and basically they're saying perfect, like she's perfect. Basically, that's how we're seeing her, and that is what they're saying in like Chinese language. And as they're praying over her, you see on the sonogram right in front of your eyes, within like 3 minutes, this tumor just shrink, and then disappear right in front of your eyes within 3 minutes. It's, truly eye-opening, right? And so this is the awareness that I got. I guess it got strengthened. So in this conversation I had with Michelle O'Donnell was, oh gosh, this message has been coming to me more and more, and I wish I knew it before my mother died. And they said, and she said, yes, I wish I knew it before my sister died. Mm-hmm. And as I went on this journey, I was traveling around India. I had India and then Fiji, and this kind of message kept coming up to me, and right before I left on this journey in Fiji, so I was at a property in Fiji, and I had this conversation with these monks at this property about this subject. And as I left on this journey to kind of sightsee around Fiji, I then, fell off this cliff 40 feet on my head, and I crossed over, saw my mother, and then I did come back in my body, and I had all of these miracles that happened. One of them being is those monks end up showing up at the hotel that I was staying at the afternoon that I was there, and had heard of my fall and asked to be taken to me. And I woke up with them praying over me. And before that happened, all of these people say that I was talking with them, but I have no memories of this. The only memory I have is waking up with these monks praying over me. And so before they're asking me my name, they're trying to figure out my family, they're trying to get a hold of my family to let them know what happened to me, right? But I don't know who I am. And so then these monks come and they pray over me, and I wake up and go, oh my gosh, these are my Dasajis. This is Krishna, this is Rajiv, this is Murali. And I introduced them to everybody in the room. All of a sudden, I knew everybody in the room, and I knew who I was, and I knew my family. So major miracle. And there's all kinds of miracles around this story that happen. However, I didn't have any memories of the fall. I remember everything crossing over and what happened. But the last memory I had of that before the fall was the guide that was asking us if we wanted to go see a hermit that lived at the bottom of the ravine in a cave. And we said yes. I remember taking 2 steps down, and that's about all I remember. But they tell me that we made it all the way down to see him, and it was on the way back up that this fall happened. So the guy that was taking care of me on the cliff, because I had felt one part, and then we were on like a little ledge, and there was another cliff below into a river. And so he was holding me the whole time while they got help, you know, so that I didn't fall into the next part of it. So anyways, he wrote all about the experience, and he sent it to me. And so I sent it all to my family email going, well, I don't remember any of this, but you know, supposedly this is what happened to me. And as I did that, all these people in their, you know, caring and their good intentions, sending me their love and telling me about what happened to them when they had some kind of brain trauma like that. When yeah. And also what happened to other people that they knew that had some kind of fall and brain trauma. And the more they started telling me these things, the more I started experiencing them. Before, I was not experiencing them because I had this miracle. But as they started telling me that I should be experiencing this and that, and then I started to go to the doctors for this brain trauma that I wasn't going to before, and they started telling me, well, you know, sometimes there's nothing we can do for you. Sometimes it goes away and sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, you might be like this for life, and there's just nothing we can do for you.
You went from having your own experience, this miraculous healing, and monks and people that really believed in that miraculous healing, to now having people tell you about all the limitations, that's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That then my body, your body is always listening. Your body is very powerful. Your mind is very powerful. So now that I started having these thoughts and belief systems of what should have happened to me when you fall off a cliff 40 feet on your head, and, you know, then I started experiencing them, and I got more and more fear as the, you know, doctors were telling me all these things, and my symptoms just got worse and worse and worse. And then finally, I remembered this message that got delivered to me right before I started this journey that I was going on, about how faith healers heal, that they do not buy into the illusion of disease, that they see the person as perfect and whole. And I had to remind myself, this does not apply to me. All these things that happen to other people does not apply to me. I had a miracle. And so I had to then start telling everybody who, in their great intention, they want to be helpful, who are asking how I was doing. I had to say, I thank you for asking. I appreciate why you're asking, but please stop asking, because the only answer you're going to get from me is that I'm perfect and whole. Everything's great. Rather that I'm perfect and I'm great. And even though I wasn't feeling perfect and great at the time when I'm answering them that, when I started answering them that way, and I stopped going to the doctors as if there was this thing wrong with me, everything did return back to my miracle, and I regained my whole well-being again. Yay!
That's such an inspiring story. Thank you for sharing. I know that we can do that all the time in little ways and in big ways in our life. I mean, what we hold as true is what creates our reality. It's what creates our experience. It's what creates our body's experience. We talk about our self-healing body. It's like we get to choose what we put in.
Exactly.
Food-wise and thought-wise and energy-wise, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's unfortunately sometimes one of the most important things you need to protect your energy and your mindset is from other people's mindset and belief systems.
That's true. I think that's a whole nother interview. We'll do,
yeah, exactly.
we'll do that sometime. Okay, so to finish, you have a free gift for the audience. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yes, a free gift that I want to offer everybody is a free kind of, it's a quiz that gives then an analysis that then helps you find out what it is that is kind of the source of blocking your prosperity. But when we talk about prosperity, we're not talking about just financial, prosperity in all things in life. Prosperity is that you're prosperous in your relationships, you're prosperous in your health, you're prosperous in your abundance and finance. But it's what's blocking your prosperity in life, where everything is flowing to you, because we are meant to receive, and it's all of these things that we have that are preventing us from receiving all of all the blessings that we can. And so if this will identify what it is that is blocking you from your prosperity, and is like the source that's creating these patterns that we're talking about that happen to you over and over again with a different name and a different face. So almost all of us have a pattern, certain area of our life, that it seems like no matter what we do or how hard we try, the same thing seems to show up in our life over and over again, just on a different day, at a different time, with a different face. And so, identify what that thing is so that you can clear that out, and so that you'll no longer have this pattern showing up over and over again.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great. So you guys can find that in the page below, the link to Brandy Faith Weld's free gift for us. And I just want to thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your inspiration and your wisdom with us. We have a lot to kind of digest and work with now.
Yes. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here with you and your audience.
Great. Okay. See you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.